All right, all right, all right. Welcome to the Way to a Great Marriage cast. And before we get started, we're going to have LaRonda to sing one of Miss Omi's songs that she wrote years ago. Omi is her mother, and so I'm going to turn it over to LaRonda.
Hello, welcome. The name of this song is The Potter, and it was written on 2201. Don't judge me now. It's too soon, you see. Don't judge me now. My father's not through with me. One day soon, there'll be a better day. My father is the potter, and I'm a little piece of clay. You are the potter, Lord. I am the clay. I know you're still molding me every day. Forgive me, Lord, when I seem to chip away. Mold me, potter. I'm just a little piece of clay. Mold me, Lord. Make me what you want me to be. I want to be a light to shine brighter for thee. The others can see this old piece of clay is still being molded and built perfect some sweet day. You are the potter, Lord. I am the clay. I know you're still molding me every day. Forgive me, Lord, when I seem to chip away. Mold me, potter. I'm just a little piece of clay. There's mountains to climb. There's valleys to go through. But there's one thing I know, Lord, I can count on you. You're still molding me, no matter what comes my way. 'Cause you are the potter, and I'm the little piece of clay. You are the potter, Lord, and I am the clay. I know you're still molding me every day. Forgive me, Lord, when I seem to chip away. Mold me, potter. I'm just a little piece of clay. Well, that's a good song. That's true. We chip away with life's troubles, whatever comes. Don't forget, he's the potter. He's who made you. We're just a piece of clay. Thank you, Mom, for letting the Lord give you all these beautiful songs.
And so this morning, Rick Warren's Daily Hope. Oh, hey, Terry. What do you say?
Hi, Terry. Oh,
I
she
love
loves
that one.
I love that one too, Terry. I love you.
And so Rick Warren, not Dave Warren, had on his
Yeah.
Daily Hope this morning. The title of it was "How Do You Treat People Who Serve You?" And it has a little bit about marriage in it. So I thought that I would read you that daily devotion, and we could discuss the discussion questions maybe.
All right, sounds good.
One of the greatest tests of your character is how you treat people who are trying to serve you. Do to others as you would have them do to you. Luke chapter 6 and verse 31. One of the greatest tests of your character is how you treat people who are trying to serve you. Whether it's a waitress, a waiter, a clerk, or employee, or a secretary, your children, or your spouse. how you treat those who serve you tells me a great deal about you. You know, one of the I've heard him in some of his podcasts say that if you're dating somebody and you go out to eat with them, watch how that they treat the waiter or the waiter, that they're going to treat you that way.
Yeah.
And so
I can see that. Yeah.
And so he, because I know some people treat them as if they're, beneath them, or
second class citizen,
or something like that. And so it's important that you treat them with respect.
Yes.
In fact, when I was involved in hiring decisions of church staff, I often took people to restaurants to see how they interacted with servers.
That's good.
Someone who was rude and demanded in those situations was a character flaw that I didn't want as part of our team.
Yeah.
So, Jesus tells us, "Do to others as you'd have them do to you." Luke 6:31. That may be the simplest yet most important character test in the Bible. Social psychiatrist Eric Hoffer once said, "Rudeness is the weak man's imitation of strength. It takes no intelligence at all to be rude."
That's true.
The best place to practice this important character trait of respect is at home. More marriages are ruined by rudeness than anything else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When I used to do marriage counseling, I was amazed at how many marriages are buried by one little dig after another.
Mm-hmm.
Have you noticed that sometimes we're the most disrespectful to the people we care about the most?
That is 100% true. Absolutely. To your children, for your spouse. We trust them. We let our guard all the way down. We can be rude and obnoxious and think they'll still love us, and they usually do. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Our homes should be safe places to express our emotions and practice forgiveness and grace, but they are too often the place where we think we can get away with the most unkindness.
Yeah, that's true.
I know people who treat their families in ways they would never treat a stranger.
100%.
Yet, even in our families, especially in our families, we need to be understanding, not demanding, and forgiving, not finding fault.
You can always find fault with each other. There's always something I'll do that you don't like, or you do that I don't like. But there's no use in downing your spouse or downing your children. You can nitpick anybody to death. Anybody can. So.
And if you're married to an opposite, then they drive you nuts. But
Exactly.
Really, they're complimenting you. You've got to see where that those things that are driving you nuts are actually
good things most of the time.
Are good for your marriage.
Yeah,
they can be good for your marriage.
That's true.
Courtesy is just love in the little things.
Mm-hmm.
It's showing grace because we understand there are hidden hurts everywhere. It's showing respect for people by being kind, even in the smallest areas of their lives.
100%.
So, question number 1. Why are we often the most disrespectful toward people we care about the most?
Well, I've kind of said mine. What do you think?
You said that was true.
Mm-hmm. Well, and why do we? I said because we're most comfortable with them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I answered that. But what about yours? What's your answer?
I think that's why that we think that we can get away with it more because that they love us
unconditionally. So yeah, I think if you're doing that to your spouse or your children or your friends, stop.
And they may be pushing them, testing your love to see if you. It's maybe an underlying fear of losing you.
That's true.
That they push you to see if you'll go. Maybe, right?
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. I'm not going anywhere. You wouldn't expect me to say that, would you? I don't care how much you push me. I'm not leaving.
My pastor at Mount Hebron Baptist Church used to say, if my wife leaves me, I'm packing my bags and I'm going with her.
So if I leave,
I've always told her that.
You'll see Tony's bags in the back, and he'll be packing. He'll be riding in the seat. No, I agree with that. Like I said, I already answered that one.
What do you need to assume about people to remind you to treat them with respect and grace?
Oh, assumption can get you in trouble, but my assumption of people is if somebody makes me mad, and I'm not a road rage person, I really am not. But if somebody like does something goofy and stuff, I'll usually make an excuse for them. Well, they're probably an elderly person, or maybe they didn't see good, or maybe they got a lot on their mind. So I try to give people grace and mercy, on the road, or I don't think people give me as much grace and mercy on the road, but because people have road rage a lot. But no, I just think the assumption I make is everyone needs a chance to prove that that's not how they are all the time. What about you?
Terry says she's sticking like dirty underwear. I accuse, I always aggravate LaRonda that she's a tick flapping in the wind.
I'm not going anywhere. I'm a tick. I got my little mouth on you.
She's buried in.
I'm buried in. Yeah, I agree, Terry.
Now we had I would say we had a really bad waitress last Sunday.
Oh.
And
yeah. Oh, it was bad. It was. It really was. But she probably had a problem. Right. I mean, she may have a bad home life, or.
Well, that's what I was talking to Rob about when we were there, when we were eating today. Is that in most people don't realize it, but most restaurants in the kitchen, most of them use drugs.
Yes.
To get through the day because of the pain. We started off talking about construction. Workers that he was, we have a friend that's remodeling restaurants here around, and Rob has got a contractor that he's remodeling a fourplex, and he was talking how great it was to have Christian contractors and people who didn't do drugs and like that, but in those things there is a lot of drug use because of the pain that is involved.
Where's your phone?
We've got it's on. Can he use the phone?
Sure.
Sorry, our kids need the phone.
He needs two phones.
He needs two phones.
One for each ear.
One for each ear. And and two, that's true. I mean, nothing against any of you guys out there that are contractors or anything like that, but due to the hard work you do, a lot of people end up on drugs.
Well, and then it's lots of times it's subscribed because they get a injury at work.
Yeah.
And then, or from being up on their feet all day long as a server or in the kitchen. It's usually the kitchen staff.
Hairdressing is really hard on your body too.
So they go to the doctor and they give them medication, and then they're high on drugs at work and don't realize that they have a problem. And this little girl had a problem. Obviously.
She had a problem. She was high.
She was probably high on that.
She was high, yes, and she was their waitress. I felt so bad for her. I really did. I mean, it's like she was trying, and it was to no avail. I mean, she just couldn't get it done.
And her boss kept having to cover for and stuff like that.
My
But
heart broke.
But we weren't rude to her
No,
or
no, not at
got
all.
upset. I did leave a comment for the restaurant that you can drop people
Yes, you
that they
can.
really need to.
Yeah.
I didn't say anything to her boss
No.
that time. I did at the time that the girl at Dairy Queen was nodding off on us.
Oh, yeah, she was taking our order and like.
I was like, this is really dangerous. She could fall into the
fryer or whatever. No, she would close her eyes and go, and you want a hamburger? And then she'd be
as
like,
an employer, I know.
Oh, it's pitiful.
It may have changed where that you can't, where that they may sue you for, if you make a false accusation, if you drop them and they're not high. But you really you need to drop them. That means drug test them, send them and get them drug tested. So that if they're high on drugs, you need to send them home.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Offer help for it. But we weren't. I don't. We weren't.
We were not rude to her.
Either one of these girls.
We were not.
We handled the situation the best we could.
It was pretty pitiful.
The manager had come over to the girl on Dairy Queen and key in the order.
In the order. She couldn't even take the order, you all. It was pitiful. And then last Sunday was a big restaurant, big name restaurant, and this little gal, I felt so bad for her. I really did. But anyway, yeah, you always be nice to people who are serving you.
Right. Now you do something that I don't do. But you get all kinds of free things from restaurants.
If I don't like something.
Yeah, if you don't like something, you send it back.
Listen, if
I'm always afraid that they'll tamper with it or spit in it or something.
Spit on it.
I just don't go back.
But no, how I do it. No, it's funny, I always do. We can't go back there. You sent your steak back. No, if I'm paying $30 for a bone-in ribeye steak, and that's a cheap one, and it tastes like liver. And whoever the butcher was.
You talking about when we went to Outback the Sunday before that?
Yeah. And it was terrible. The steak was terrible.
I have never liked Outback.
Oh no, it wasn't good.
It wasn't good. The first time I went.
Sorry, Outback.
I would never go. They get a bad rating.
Oh yeah, it's not a good rating. But anyway, it tastes like liver to me. And so my Uncle Larry was a butcher for Winn-Dixie in Lexington. He said when they cut those off too close to the liver, the liver blood drains over into the meat. Okay. And so I can't eat a really good bone-in ribeye if it tastes like liver.
Of course, now he did point out that there was one part of that steak that was as we had ordered it.
Yes.
The rest of the steak was well done.
Yeah, I mean tough as shoe leather.
Like medium, but
like the dogs couldn't hardly eat it.
He was trying to point out that I guess it's hard to cook one of those evenly.
I've had really good.
I guess it was the filet mignon portion.
It was good. The filet mignon was good.
It's the part that they can get the right.
Now Malone's has never overcooked a steak like that. It's a good restaurant in Lexington, but no, I just meant I would never be rude to someone and go, listen, this is terrible. I would say, hey, would you mind to just take this back because it's got a liver flavor or it's overcooked. And if you're not mean to somebody, most of the time they don't take offense to it. If you say, this is the awfulest steak I've ever ate in my life, and I want you to bring me another one or give me my money back. Well, yeah, so be nice to your waiters.
Right. Well, some people think they feel like they're being disrespected and they get angry at the person.
Yeah, that's true. I don't feel that way.
They have some issues. The next question, what do you need to assume about people to remind you to treat them with respect?
That was the one. That's the one. Yeah.
The last one really is it applies to husbands and wives. It's if your character was being judged by the way you treat people who serve you, how do you think it would be assessed?
Your character.
Yeah.
Well, you could put that to a husband or a wife, because like we serve each other, you know. I think my character will probably be kind. Um, the assessment of how I treat people, I really feel like I would be kind. You know, the assessment is I have a kind character about myself. I very seldom get like angry unless somebody's hurting a child, older person, you know, being mean to somebody I love. And then I might step up and go, you know, enough's enough, you know. But I'm still not like, I try to hold myself accountable to me that if I overreact, then I'm going to have to deal with it later. What about you?
Well, I think you would learn from taking me out to eat that, but that I'm passive aggressive,
Yeah.
because I don't say anything
No.
about where they've messed up.
No.
I just don't ever go back.
Yeah.
Or I might give them a bad rating on Google.
Yeah, on
But
Google.
I decided a long time ago quit giving people ratings on Google and just take pictures, because I was just found myself leaving too many negative comments. And I was like, I'll just not say anything.
Yeah. Well,
but but you were saying you were told that they want to know.
They do. I had a really
They're
good friend of
messing up.
mine worked at Cliff Hagen's Steakhouse here in Berea, and I mean that place was just fantastic. Did you ever eat there, Cliff Hagen's?
No.
Down by McDonald's, where the bank
McDonald's?
is now, huh?
Which McDonald's?
Down by
Okay,
Walmart.
okay.
Here. Anyway, it was like they had the Nighthawk special, and it was a fillet, and it was so good. Well, one night mine was tasted like liver, and so a really good friend of mine she's passed away now, was a waitress there, and I told her about it. I did her fingernails because I was a nail tech and hairdresser, and she said, "LaRonda, why would you do that? Why didn't you tell me?" I said, "Because I didn't want to hurt nobody's feelings. You know, that's been a long time ago when I was in my 20s." And she said, "How are we going to know if you, how are we going to know if anything's bad if you don't tell us?" And I said, "Well, I didn't think I thought that would be offensive." She said, "No, I would rather you go out in the community and say, you know what? I got a bad steak at Cliff Hagen's, but they gave me a new one. It was delicious." Other than saying, "Oh, don't go there to eat."
Well, we have waitors. Actually, that the one I'm thinking of is waiter. To say that
That's heard everywhere.
that 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 he knew, because the chef that was working that night was bad.
Yes.
We went to Gondoliers is my favorite place.
It
I think
is.
That's what it was. We went to Gondoliers.
But it wasn't Gondoliers. It was
wasn't?
it was that place in Danville. After we went to the jail, that place.
Oh, I thought it was down there too.
Was it Gondoliers?
Yeah, he was like, "Come back tomorrow because this really isn't a good example of us." Because I was disappointed in Gondoliers.
I forgot that.
Down there because it wasn't like the ones that
Here.
in London.
Yeah.
And he said, "Well, come back tomorrow night.
Yes.
We got a bad chef tonight."
Yeah.
Bad
Come
cook.
back tomorrow night, chef. It's a lot better. But yeah.
Or was it the other way around? He said, "You picked a good night to come because this is
the good night.
This is the good.
This is
night.
the good." Oh, that was Gondoliers in Myrtle Beach.
No, it was
Florida.
Clearwater.
Clearwater.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
now I remember. It was that guy was really nice.
Yes, he was.
He was very nice. So they had Gondoliers all the way down there. I couldn't believe that. I don't think it was the same kind of chain as. Do you think it was? It seemed a little different.
Yeah. I forget who that I heard say this, but they said you might as well. Maybe it was Roger at church. He said you might as well let them get out their spill because they have a spill that they have to get out about all the specials.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm not wanting that. Well, let me just tell you about it.
You might as well let them get out the spill, even though you know what you're going to order.
Yes. We eat some really good places at Clearwater.
Okay.
That was remember we got this like I know this is off the subject. We got this like block of cheese.
No, that was at Myrtle Beach.
Was that Myrtle Beach? I thought it was
that's whenever
Clearwater.
I got the fin tuna.
Oh my goodness,
And
you
then
all.
we went back the next night and you had to have a reservation.
Yes, it was white tablecloths. We didn't know because it was just a
We
little
were able
rinky
the first
dinky.
night just to go in there because it was like Sunday night or Monday
Yeah.
night. Nobody was in there.
Nobody was in there.
Yeah,
But they gave us a block.
But it kind of goes along with the way to a great marriage.
It does.
As we're talking about, date night,
Yes.
being, if you can afford it, and going to go somewhere that you've never been before.
We'd always do.
That's the important thing because Jordan Peterson talks about creating new memories and how you create a new part of you whenever you do that. There's new synapses in your brain that are created whenever that you have a new experience, and so you need to go places that you've never been before.
And we do that.
Yeah,
we do that. So we're adventurers,
and so you want to go to restaurants where you've never been before for your date nights, and that gets you a new experience with your sweetie pie. Right. And then if you never go back, then that's just a memory for you two.
That's just for you two. Well, I mean, he even does that. Like we'll take our CR leadership team on a training, and they'll go, "Oh, where are we going to eat?" I don't know. Let's let Tony pick because he always finds us somewhere out in the boonies.
I had taken on more that we'd already been.
That
I had been several times, but I was like, "Oh, we got to stop there." It was what was that fish?
Big
place?
Fish something.
Yeah,
I can't remember. Kingfish in Louisville. Yeah. It was so good.
Yeah, and so just the places, things like that.
Well, he's good at that. So we do adventure out and do stuff like that for date night. So if you don't have a date night,
if you can't tell, I rearranged my budget to where it's heavy on eating out.
Yes, we like to try new things. Yes, we do.
I don't know what it is now. You do the taxes.
Yeah.
It used to be I had like $1,000
a month.
I don't remember what it was.
Yeah.
Let's see. A month.
Well, we don't buy a whole lot of groceries because we're gone 3 nights a week, and before really it was 5 nights we were gone. So, and we didn't buy anything. We were at CRs, but now we're Monday nights are at Robin Lurie's. Wednesday we're at church, and sometimes if Cecil's with us, we take him to Cracker Barrel.
But even if you had to live cheap, me and Braden would go for lunch whenever COVID was going on and he would get us a slider. Of course, he didn't eat the sliders; he'd eat the curly. At Arby's, and I'd get my euro, and we go down to the lake or down to the square.
See this
and eat it there. So you don't have to, or you could do a picnic.
My brother calls it a redneck date. They go through, get them on the dollar menu, a hamburger and a piece of pie, and they'll do a cup of coffee, and they'll go sit somewhere and just people watch.
The expensive restaurant.
Yes, yes. So you can do redneck dates, is what our family calls it, but just make sure you take time out for each other. It is just special time for you.
But if you're noticing, that was the other thing I was trained as a manager. You take out somebody to eat, is watch and see if they salt their food without tasting it first.
Yeah,
it means they'll come in and change everything without seeing if it works or not. And so you can learn a lot of people if you probably read up on what to look for whenever you're dating somebody, and in the way that they eat and the way that they do things by just taking them out to eat.
That's true. You're right, 100% right about that. But that's all I've got tonight. And we love you, Terry. We hope you all are having a wonderful time. Annabelle says hello. She's at my feet. So is Katie. Come here, Katie. Oh, goodness. Oh, here's Katie Bug. She's getting as big as me. Yes, and Annabelle wants to say hi to everybody.
Oh,
Rah, rah, rah.
Are you reminding everybody to like?
Yes.
Say like. Yeah, like. Comment. Comment. You comment?
There you go.
There you go. Comment. Ask questions.
Yeah.
And subscribe.
Yes.
Share.
Since
I'm not on social media, you can share for me.
Yeah.
And or else, and then there is hit the ding-a-ling.
Ding, ding, ding! Notification.
I was thinking if I could find my dinner bell, I could bring that in.
I want that. I want a dinner bell.
We can bring it in here and
hook it to the wall
and ring it when we're talking about the ding-a-ling.
Yeah. Annabelle's still talking.
That means that you get notifications when we're on,
Annabelle.
so that you can aggravate us live. Like Terry does.
Please keep aggravating us, Terry. David, you can say something every once in a while too.
So with that, we say remain in my heart.
Good night, sleep tight, pleasant dreams to you.
Here's a wish and a
That every dream comes true.
and now till we meet again. Adios, au revoir, adios. Good night.
Bye. We love you.